I just wanted to come on here and thank you guys for 4,000 subs real quick before we get on to today's video. I think my next goal is 10,000 before 2023. I know it's ambitious, but I don't think it's impossible. And in celebration of 4,000 subs, I'm going to run that intro that I used to put on all my videos. I really like it, but I stopped putting it on there because it's not good for retention purposes. But I hope you enjoyed this video that I have for you today, and you'll consider subscribing. Thanks again so much for 4,000. I feel like this problem isn't unique to me. If it is, the video will probably be a little bit awkward, but no matter how many hours I play, I can't help but feel a sense of heightened anxiety, a little bit of nervousness when I load into my first set for the day. And no matter how well or how terrible the day before went, the first set, for better or for worse, always feels like a reset. It's a new day full of possibilities, but also potentially full of tribulations, and that leads me to feel a little bit uncertain. You see, the advice that I've heard in the past is that your skill falls on a spectrum, and that's what leads us to feel like we're playing very well one day, but completely terrible on another. And I guess that weighs on me in the first game of the day. It's like, is today going to be one where I'm skewed in favor of very well or very bad, when in reality we're trying to center ourselves on that spectrum to be consistent. I'm not trying to skew in favor of either side. I'm aiming for somewhere in the middle that I can hit every single time. But waking up and playing well every day is tough. Like I've said before, our main goal, most players' main goal, is consistency, but there's so many factors that play into that. Some you can control and others you can't. And sometimes even the factors you can control feel out of reach, and that leaves you with a sense of hopelessness. And that feeling is when I know I'm tilted. And sometimes it doesn't take very many games to realize that it's going to be one of those hopeless days. And even the most tenacious online warriors know what I'm talking about. It's a shift from the feeling of I'm the only person holding myself back from getting better to I am being held back from getting better, but you can't really explain what forces are stopping you anymore. It's a barrier. It's a wall. I think this is what leads us to feel like we plateaued. And when you get there, it feels like every day you get up and you can play less and less games before you get frustrated. Some days you'll get on and you'll play 2 sets, and the first set you're a complete wreck, and the second set you're just tilted already, and you have to hop off. Or I should say you should hop off the game, but a lot of the times we don't, right? We queue up on tilt, and we tell ourselves that we'll do better next game, but we can't. We're carrying baggage from the previous 2 sets that we just can't get rid of. And it all somehow relates to that first game of the day. You knew from that first game that things weren't going to go well for the rest of this session. Even though that's not even a guarantee. That's not something that's certain. In your head, it felt certain. And I guess that's another thing that leads to that nervousness, is that I carry so much baggage from that first game of the day into the rest of the day, to the point where uncertain things become certain, whether they're true or not. The concept of every game is a new chance and every round even is a fresh start becomes more and more foreign to you, because it just doesn't feel that way anymore. It's like I've lost the first round. What's stopping me from losing the second one? You know, like this guy already has an advantage. Yeah, it's over. That's the feeling it can sometimes snowball into. And that's more of tilt, but again, it all stems from the first game for me. Like I'm really bad at just letting things go. Lately, I'd like to say that I'm getting a little bit better at it. I don't get as angry as quickly, and I can let some of the losses go pretty easily, but not for the right reasons, I guess. It's mostly because I've gotten to this higher rank now, like on both accounts. You probably notice in the background, actually, but on that Viceroy account, the Kemi one, I got to Diamond, so I switched back to my main just to continue where I left off on that account. But because I'm playing against the higher ranked players, it's much easier for me to lose to like a UGM or a Warlord player and be like, yeah, I get why I lost. He's just put in more effort than me. In reality, I don't think that's why I should be accepting the loss. I should be accepting the loss because I just got outplayed, not because somebody's a higher rank than me or they played more games than me. More games and more hours don't necessarily mean that somebody's better than you. It's how you spend that time that really determines how good you can get. Also, the fact that everybody learns at a different rate. So it's not really a good metric to judge skill. And the fact of the matter is, none of this should really even be your concern. It's all how the opponent is playing and how you play in reaction to that. All of these things I'm talking about are unnecessary external factors that just weigh on my mind. They're like intrusive thoughts that come in when I'm playing the game. And we've all been there. Like you're about to beat some guy who's 4 ranks higher than you, and you're like, wow, am I really going to beat this guy who is, I don't know, Warlord rank? It's just silly little thoughts that sometimes we can't help ourselves from thinking. I think I got a little bit off topic here, but I'm sure it'll all come together into one cohesive message. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry. I just hope you can relate to the message that I was trying to bring today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.